Hey everyone, happy early 4th of July. I wish you all a very happy and safe 4th. And a reminder, next week I am not going to be here. So with that, let's go ahead and jump right in for our talk today. So one of the things I hear all the time as a buyer's broker is that a lot of people are waiting for the prices to come down, the rates to drop. I mean, I get it because it helps you buy a bigger, maybe even a better home. But buying a home, and like I said, I get it, but buying a home is one of the biggest financial decisions you're going to ever make. But here's what I always tell my clients. You have to start somewhere. Hi guys, I'm Niki Shelton with Keeping It Real. I am in Kitsap County local real estate broker, and let's go ahead and jump right in and talk about buying your first home. So for most people, the first home isn't their forever home. It's a home that gets them started. And that's the key word, started. Maybe it's smaller than you pictured. Maybe the kitchen needs updating. You know, I know when we bought my house that I had flower wallpaper. I mean, it was the most ugliest, it was the ugliest wallpaper ever. You know what? Paint, right? That works just great. So anyway, maybe it needs a new floor. You know what? My house had carpet in. I had kids and dogs. Guess what? That doesn't work so well. So new flooring at some point, right? You're doing stuff as you're going. Sometimes you're a little bit further out than maybe you hoped. And you know what? That's okay. It's all okay, because for many first-time homeowners, your home becomes a stepping stone to your next home. Or maybe it's just building up the equity. So when you buy your first home, you're not just buying 4 walls and a roof. You're buying a future. You're building equity over time, and you're creating memories, and you're learning what homeownership is really all about. Some people stay in their first home for many years. We've been here for a long, long time. Others use the equity that they've built to help purchase their next home. There isn't a right or wrong answer. But here's the 3 things that you really, really need to keep in mind, and what I recommend to my clients. The first is get a local real estate broker that you know and that you trust. Take time to interview them. Don't just grab the first one and say it's all going to be okay. Make sure you're asking questions, like talk to them. Like, how do we communicate together? Are we on totally different ends of the world? I mean, like sometimes you just don't communicate well with people. Also making sure, you know, their timelines and stuff like that, they're available when you're going to need them to go show a house, or maybe they're not going to be available and that's not going to work. Do they really sit down and understand your goals? And then will they educate you and not just, you know, unlock the doors? I mean, do they actually guide you through the process and talk to you about what each of those steps in that process looks like? So that way you're making an understanding and you're doing what makes the most sense for you at that particular moment in time in your life. And then also, how good are they at negotiating for your best interests? The right broker becomes your guide, not just your salesperson. Okay, so number 2, let's go ahead and jump into this one. You have to know your numbers. And I know I've talked about this in other broadcasts before. It's so important. Don't just know what you qualify for. Make sure that when you sit down with the lender, you're finding out what you feel comfortable with. Again, I'm saying this so many times, I know, but seriously, you could get approved for $1 million, but that doesn't mean that you want to spend that much money for your mortgage every single month. It might not make sense. You might have other things you want to do. You might want to put some into savings. You might want to save for college. You don't want to spend all that money on your mortgage maybe. So make sure that they get the full history, the full picture, see what that means, and look and find out what your comfort level is. You got to take into consideration the mortgage, the taxes, the insurance, the utilities, the maintenance on the house. All that stuff comes to play. So make sure that when you're talking to your financial advisor, that you're really taking into all those considerations rather than just what you're approved for. So owning a home should support your life, not create unnecessary stress. And that's one of the things I always tell my clients. I want you to love your home, and I want you to still love me, not dread me every month, or, you know, because you're getting this mortgage payment that you are not comfortable with. Okay, third, go out in the market, see the homes. You can look online too, of course, but actually physically going into homes, like touring homes, is one of the best things you can do, because it gives you a feel really what the homes in your price range look like. So that way you get the whole picture, not just part of what the pictures online are showing you, right? Because we all know those aren't always, they're pictures, but they're usually made to look a lot better, or the space a lot bigger. And when you actually walk into a place, you know exactly the feel of it. So it's really, really important to make sure that you walk through the homes to make sure you understand, and also just the size, but also to understand what's important to you. Because, I walked into, I was showing a home. This has been a while ago, but with a gal, and she had a piano, and she said, Nikki, I have to have my piano, so that's non-negotiable. I have to have a place for this piano. And she found a house that was beautiful. Everything else checked the blanks. There was no place for that piano. So really make sure, that's one of the things I do when I'm talking to my buyers when we're out, shopping around, is I'm asking them. I usually talk to them before about it, but does this make sense? Does this still work for you? Is this space going to work? Because I know what they're looking for, what their goals and their needs are. Okay. So you have a great location. You might have a larger house. Maybe the backyard matters more than what a remodeled kitchen does. So you kind of come to some of those conclusions about what things really are important to you, and you really don't know until you start looking. Okay, you guys, so waiting for the perfect rate, the perfect market, that can sometimes keep you and everyone else from making that first step. None of us have a crystal ball, but what you can do is understand today's market, know your budget, and decide if now makes sense for you, because every home buyer has to start somewhere. Your first home doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be the right place to begin. I'm Niki Shelton, your local Kitsap County real estate broker, keeping it real. And you guys, if you're wondering on if you're ready to start buying or you're ready to take your first step, please feel free to reach out to me. I would love to talk to you and to understand, what you're looking for, your goals, and understand those, and then have you be able to help you and assist you to go through that process. You can always send me a DM. You can text me. I'm pretty easy to find. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining me. Drop a comment. I love comments. Give me some comments. Have a great 4th of July, you guys. Keep it safe. And we'll see you 2 weeks. Thanks. Bye, everybody.